Hola Tieros, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another Waffle House. And yeah, we're back. We're back to the Waffle House. Sorry for being late. YouTube has done an absolute madness. I went to go put the stream on, then it disappeared. And then I tried to make another one, but every time I tried to make it, it would go live instead of setting it for the next time. So yeah, just YouTube's being a massive pain tonight. Earlier it, got rid of all of my subscribers. So I don't know. I don't know what YouTube's going through, but we're here. We're here. We're back for another episode of the Waffle House. As you come in, like, share, subscribe, and yeah, today is the World Cup show. Today we're talking about the World Cup. As you can see in my background, I've got two kits, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But since it's the Waffle House, since it's my show, let's start with the interesting news. I see that the Champions League is going on, of course. So far, in the Champions League tonight, all right, let's talk about the first match. Everybody talking about Liverpool going to beat Galatasaray. Well, Galatasaray won 1-0. And yes, it's not over because Galatasaray still has to go to Anfield, I'm pretty sure. And we know how Anfield could be on a European night. But for you not to score away against Galatasaray, it might be a sticky one. As of right now, Newcastle and Barcelona 0-0. And then there's another game on our side of the bracket. A certain club that is housed north of Arsenal, Islington. A certain club with a chicken on a beach ball are playing in Madrid tonight. But I wouldn't call it playing. I wouldn't call it playing. Because the gift that keeps on giving, Tottenham Hotspur, are down 4-1 in the 35th minute of their match against Atletico Madrid. And you know what I'm hoping? I'm hoping they put 3 or 4 more past them. Couldn't happen to a better squad. I don't know what Tottenham thought they were going to get, but Atleti is snatching chains. And Atleti is snatching their chain. Couldn't happen to a better club. And of course, as we expected, Bayern Munich is handling Atalanta 3-0. Not surprised at all. So yeah, that's what's going on, bro. Tottenham Hotspur. I at least thought they'd make it out to half, maybe concede 1-2. 4? I need to score one more so I can say, I got 5 on it. That's what I want to say. Bro, that's crazy. Tottenham Hotspur. If you're an Arsenal fan, you can't help but laugh. You can't help but laugh at them. Because boy. They are the gift that keeps giving. And I know I shouldn't be talking because we are playing Leverkusen. But I don't expect us to be down 4-1 in the 35th minute. That's crazy. Yeah, Newcastle, Barcelona. I need Newcastle to win, man. If Newcastle win, Atleti win, we win, Bodo Glimt win. I'm saying it's looking good. But yeah, man. I'm gassed. I'm gassed with that. I'm gassed because it's Tottenham. What do you expect? But anyway, this is the World Cup show. As I said, I was going to talk about the World Cup. And that's what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk about the World Cup. I, unfortunately, booked these things on a Tuesday and Wednesday because it's the midweek. And this is why I want to start doing it on a Saturday, just so we get more people in. But it's midweek, and I know a lot of people are probably watching the Champions League. But I'm going to waffle because that's what we do here at the Waffle House. So, yeah. Talking about the World Cup. I'm excited about the World Cup. Kind of. as we know, the World Cup this will be this year, this summer, and it's shared in between three countries: Canada, the U.S., and Mexico. And there's quite a few places I think they're going to be in, like Mexico City, Guadalajara. I think they'll be in Montreal, Toronto. I know they'll be in Miami, and I think they doing something in Kansas, LA. So, they're going to be all over the joint for the World Cup. It's, being from America, honestly, it is probably one of my least anticipated World Cups. It's the one that I'm kind of like meh about. Just because I feel like there's a certain beauty about the World Cup being in a smaller nation, or being in one nation, because everything is there. Like, where you're going. With it being so spread out, and I don't know that people actually realize how far a trip from, let's say, California to Mexico City, or Miami to Seattle. Like, I don't think people understand how far those trips are. And I think that kind of thing takes away from it a little bit. It's like the Olympics. Like, if you put the Olympics, one bit in France, and one bit in England, and one bit in, and you kind of lose that thing, you know what I'm saying? And for me, this World Cup feels, for lack of a better term, feels like a money grab, man. It honestly feels like a money grab. It feels like, and I felt like that about Qatar as well. Like, just random place. I just feel like these places, and I feel like when it comes to the World Cup, yes, it's a sport for everyone. It's a world sport, but I feel like you should have the World Cup in places where football is king. Like, America, football isn't the biggest sport. Like Mexico, yes. If you had it in Mexico and maybe Central America, I'd feel differently. But America is not the biggest sport. Canada is not the biggest sport. So I feel like it was just to say we hosted the World Cup. I don't feel like it's like when it was in South Africa. South Africa loves football. When it's in Rio loves football. Even if if it was in England and Wales, they love football. Like, you're going to get asked. I just feel like it's the only reason they put it in America. And I'm speaking about America here. I think Canada will have fanatics, but there's only like 2 places in Canada. It's mostly in America that it's going to happen. And I just feel like the reason that FIFA's done it is because American stadiums are huge. And they know that they're going to get all of the immigrants, to be honest. The immigrants, they're going to get people to fly to America. It feels like a money grab to me. Big up Andreas. He said it's to grow the game, which means more people to put their money into the game. But in America, they don't do that. That's the thing. Like, they're putting money into the pockets of the people who organize the game. So in America, right, and being in England, I feel like I've seen a different viewpoint of how it is, right? So, like, in the UK, kids go to academies. Like, they don't have to pay for those things. I mean, you have to pay for, like, equipment and stuff, but you get picked up by an academy. You get to a point where they start paying you. Like, in America, you could pay thousands to play football. Like, you could play, even peewee football. People are paying to be in these teams, right? And people often wonder, like, why is the U.S. not so good? Because everything is pay to play. Everything is pay to play. Said only college football stadiums are consistently bigger than European ones. I don't think they're using them, are they? It depends. Like, it also depends on, like, let's say if it was in England, like, our stadiums are going to be comparable or bigger. Like, it depends on which stadium. I know the one in LA is massive because they just built it. Dolphin Stadium. How much is Dolphin Stadium? I want to say it's about 70. I might be wrong. I haven't been there in ages. But it's not all. It's about the size of the stadium address, but it's also about how much they can charge you. Did you see some of those tickets? They charging people to go into fan zones in America. They're charging. It's because there's so many people, and I don't think that, like, for me, I don't think it's so much people going to enjoy a football team. People are going to enjoy the football experience. So that means that people in America will end up paying way more money than you pay in Europe. Like, I'm not paying, like, most average Europeans aren't going to pay £1,000 for the nosebleeds. Americans who haven't ever seen their team, they'll save up and pay for it if it's in their backyard. And not only that, but airlines they'll jack up prices so people can come. Hotels will jack up prices. I don't think it's for the fan. That's pretty much what I'm getting at. I don't feel like the World Cup, this World Cup in particular, is for the fans. I mean, Qatar wasn't really for the fans either. But when it comes to this one, like, Mexico, I get, man. Mexico, football fanatics. I grew up with Mexicans, man. They love football. But Americans, like, when they say growing the game, like, how? What else are they doing? Are some of these teams, gonna have pipelines? Are they making academies? Are they gonna actually start feeding, American teams into European countries or South American countries? I don't think that's the case, man. I think it's all a money grab. That's just my opinion, right? I think it's just, let's get exposure. Let's help the U.S. economy. It's like we pay more for NFL games held in. Well, yeah, and that's what it. And you know what, Andres? I've been to one of those Wembley games. I went to the one in the Toilet Bowl, or Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I went there, and I just, cause I coach American football. This is my American football team, right? Shameless plug. University of Southampton American football. Cause I coach American football, bro. My players will, like, miss practice, right? Back when I used to coach, they'd miss practice to go see those matches. Like, they booked those things months in advance. They're like, yeah, I can't come to practice because we're going to be off at the NFL, right? And they have packages behind it, like entire packages behind going to see like this. I mean, how did I do it? When I went, because I went with a mate, right? And it was a good experience. And I hate to say that because it's Tottenham. It was a good experience. It was great in the sense that, like, you were there on the concourse, right? But it's two different things. They're two different things. Like, being a Dolphins fan, for example, right? When I go to a Dolphins game, I'm only going to see Dolphins fans. Like, it's going to be me and my thousands of Dolphins fans. We all come in for the same thing. When I went to the NFL thing, bro, you had people in So these are the two teams that were playing were the Minnesota Vikings and New Orleans Saints. And funny enough, I saw a lot of Saints fans because Saints fans travel. Didn't know that. I do. New Orleans to England, crazy. But then you see Jets jerseys, Broncos jerseys. You see, just random. I mean, you even see college jerseys out there, and it's like, bro, they want the experience. They want the love. They love the game, and I think that is what you're gonna see in America as well. Like, let's be honest. How many people from Curacao are gonna travel to Kansas City to watch their team play? Probably not happening. Not many. Maybe 100. So, yeah. Maybe I keep checking the scores as well, man, because I was watching. And this is what we do at the Waffle House. We just waffle. But I want Tottenham 8-5, man. I would look. Oh man, they haven't scored again. I mean, 4 goals is crazy. 4 goals is crazy. But yeah, that's just how I feel about the World Cup as far as the pomp of it. And then when you've got what's going on in the world, the only country that's hosting the World Cup that doesn't have anything going on, it's surprisingly Canada. Not surprisingly, because Canadians are usually out of the way anyway. They don't like to be involved in craziness. But I mean, if you're promoting this World Cup, right? And the World Cup, for me, it's always been a competition where inclusivity, coming together. Bro, you've got it in two countries that's not like Mexico. They're fighting each other. Like, there's a cartel, and then you got America with the shenanigans that they're doing. And like, to me, it doesn't feel like the World Cup, man. It doesn't feel like. And every country has an issue. I don't want to, do I act like South Africa doesn't have issues? Do I act like Spain doesn't have issues? Every country has its issues. But when you have, especially with what's going on in America, imagine if I'm, a Mexican American and I'm going to watch Mexico in Kansas City and ICE is outside the stadium. Or ICE is in the fan zone. Like, that's not, I don't feel like it's a World Cup atmosphere. Now I have to watch my back because of the shenanigans that America's doing. I'm going to Mexico to watch a match. I have to be afraid I might get kidnapped or worse. Like, that's something you think about everywhere. But the fact that it's on the forefront, like America is in a war, like I don't feel like it's gonna be, and I'm hoping that it's different because we have the World Cup in Russia, so what I'm saying, it could be, but I don't know. Like, it doesn't seem like, for me, a place where I'd want to go for the World Cup. And we're having games in Miami, and I would love to see England and Miami, but as how I feel right now, nah, man, I don't. It's hard, man. It's hard to think about the World Cup from the outside, from a whole holistic thing. It's hard to kind of get into the World Cup, and maybe I feel a little bit differently after the club season is different, is over. But it's just things that I'm thinking about when I look at what's happening with the World Cup, from the outside looking in, because I live in England now, so I don't live in America. But yeah, that's just my overall views about the politics of the World Cup. So that's done. Let's talk about the World Cup itself, right? And the teams. Right now, we've got qualifiers that are, I think, slated to happen at the end of the month. Jamaica. Jamaica is one of those teams that I definitely want to go to the World Cup because I like Caribbean teams. No, Waffle Don, it is the Puerto Rican jersey, and I'll get into that in like 2 seconds. So, yeah, as you guys know, Gooner Rican, Puerto Rican, that's my team. This is why I have their kit behind me, right? And it's the only one that I could actually find, one of the older ones. I mean, it's made by Ford, so it's not like it's a... Puerto Rico is a very small team in the Caribbean. I don't think we've ever qualified for the World Cup. We're technically a country, but not really. We're a Commonwealth. But we are recognized by FIFA as well as the Olympic Committee. So we do tend to have teams, and when they have the Olympics, we'll probably put forth a football team. And then when we have the World Cup football team, I thought we were gonna make it because Curacao made it, but yeah, De Leon and Antonetti. Antonetti was out there, but De Leon has been injured, so I think that's also part of the reason we didn't advance. So yeah, Puerto Rico's my go-to team. They're the love of my life, as you can see. I love Arsenal, and of course I've got the Puerto Rico thing behind me. But yeah, as far as kind of when Puerto Rico's not in it, then obviously I usually support another team. And the team that I've been supporting the most has been England. I also support Spain because obviously when you're Puerto Rican, it's kind of like, Jamaicans and English. Puerto Rico is like Puerto Rico and Spanish, or Puerto Rico in America. So that's how it is. But as I told you guys before, if you watched this before, I cannot stomach supporting the U.S. national team. They make me nauseous. I hate the way they play football. When one of your best players, like when you can go back and one of your best players is Tim Howard, the goalkeeper, and that comes off the top of your head. You know, Bob Bradley is the next, Clint Dempsey. And Clint Dempsey played for Tottenham. So, but yeah, like it's just stuff like that where I'm just kind of like, I don't want any parts of the U.S. national team. So I support England because at the time, my favorite player, Daniel Sturridge, was playing for England. So I gravitate. But when I lived in Spain, I have a Spanish jersey. And I am going to go through the jerseys because I think there's a story there. And I got a few people in the chat. So, yeah, Waffle Don. This one's a Puerto Rico jersey. It's got a stain on it, which I can't freaking get out. It annoys me. But, as you see, Puerto Rico on the back. It was made by Ford at the time. And it's got this is the old crest. They've changed it. As you can see, Federation Puerto Rican de Football, FBF, 1940 is when it started. But I like this one, man, because it's like flag. It's like the Puerto Rican flag is dope. The new ones are made by Hummel, and I've been trying to get my hands on one of them, but it's hard because they're not a big team, and yeah. Waffle Down, what part of the Caribbean is your heritage from? If you're still in here, so yeah, Puerto Rico is my national team. My mom was Puerto Rican. My grandma, I grew up Puerto Rican. So I love Puerto Rico, and for me, that's probably my favorite jersey in my collection, to be fair. And I love Arsenal. I have a lot of good Arsenal jerseys, but the Puerto Rico one, for me to have found it, I found it on a UK website as well. And it means a lot to me, man. It means a lot to rep my heritage and my country. Hopefully, I mean, we didn't make this World Cup. I'd like to see us make the Gold Cup, which is like the Caribbean version of the Euros. I'd like to see us make the Gold Cup. Because, when you watch teams like Jamaica, you watch teams like Curacao make it, you're like, man, I'm surely Puerto Rico can make it. And the thing is, we're seeing more Puerto Rican players play in the MLS. We're seeing more Puerto Rican players play in Mexico. As I told you, De Leon plays for Real Madrid Castilla. He did have kind of a couple bench appearances for the big Real Madrid squad, but then he injured his shoulder, and I think he's just been hurt the entire time. And then Leandro Antonetti used to play for Sevilla, which is another reason that I like Sevilla, because this is my biggest regret, I think. For a while, for about, I think, half a season, 2015, 2016, Puerto Rico was actually on the back of Sevilla. They were on the front to start off with. And then I think one of the hurricanes hit, and Puerto Rico couldn't afford to give them the sponsorship money. So Sevilla was like, it's going to be on the back, because we need the money. Obviously, it's not like they're Barcelona. And then the whole just mishandling of Puerto Rico during hurricanes happens every time there's a disaster. It meant that they couldn't even pay to have it on the back. But for a while, Visit Puerto Rico was on the back of Sevilla shirts, and I felt like life was full circle because I love Sevilla. And yeah, man, I love Puerto Rico as well, and I think that was such a great thing, a great collaboration, and it's a shame that it didn't last, because I wish it had happened for a couple seasons. And it's so hard. It's darn near impossible to find a Visit Puerto Rico Sevilla shirt from that year. So yeah, it's one of the things that I wish I had actually gotten and added to my collection, because I do have a collection which we'll go through in a minute. But yeah, the second shirt I have is England shirt, and the thing that I liked that Nike was doing at the time was they were putting the year from it. So this was from 2016, the England shirt. I've got number 8. I got my name on the back. I won't show it to you, but I got my name on the back, and my wife has the She has the home kit with her name on the back. So yeah, she's got 8. She's got 9. I got 8. But yeah, England. When people ask me like why you support England, I think it's because I live here so long. But I started supporting them when I started supporting Arsenal. My first ever kind of football match in England was England. It wasn't Arsenal. It was actually the England national team. It was England versus Spain in a friendly. And if you guys remember that friendly, it was the match that finished 2-2, in which Jamie Vardy scores and he does the iconic like freeze celebration. That was that match. I was sat probably, I want to say I was sat like 3 rows behind. Like I could see Jamie Vardy. I was like, what is he doing? He's stopping. And then everyone kind of did it. And yeah, I thought it was a great moment. So that was kind of my first international match. And then my wife bought me tickets to go see England versus Lithuania, which was also near the front. I don't know how she kept getting these good tickets. But yeah, those were my first matches. So yeah, I started supporting England, started supporting Spain. But I'm always an underdog type guy. Like I like people who are underdogs. I like teams that don't always win. And I felt like Spain was a little bit better, so I supported England because every time England are in a competition, they say football is coming home, and I'm a sucker for torture. I like losing, apparently. So yeah. So in my experience here, I've had some good ones. I've had some good ones with England. I've also had some bad ones. I think my best England experiences are with the women's team. Yeah, seeing the women win, the Euros was probably the best moment at England. When we lost the Euros, I was in Disney World, and I was wearing an England kit as well. It was shambolic. It was so sad. I think I've been as upset as when I watch Arsenal as well. So yeah, it was a tough time. But I do have my first ever England kit. Because we were gonna do show and tell today, so that's what we're doing. So this is my first ever one. This I didn't know the difference, but I think this is actually an authentic kit because it's got the holes in it. And then it also says 2014 was my first England kit. I think it was actually one of my first kits. Period. I think I got this one before I got my first Arsenal kit. Actually, I did get it before I got my first Arsenal kit, because my first Arsenal kit was a 2015-2016 Puma kit, which I'm pretty sure I've shown you guys. But yeah, so this is my first one. And I have this authentic version, as well as, I think I've got the actual, or I had the actual one. Hold on. I'll go grab it. I'm back. So yeah, I've got the replica version as well. Because I didn't know the difference. So when I started, I got the replica version. Although the problem with England kits, as you can see, they do. Well, it actually looks whiter, but they do get like stains and marks and stuff, and they're absolutely terrible to get out. So yeah, this was my first kit. I liked the white. I liked the 3 lions. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. And yeah, I just like being from Miami. We love white. We love wearing white. White kits, white shoes, white everything. So, that was the first one. I bought that in 2014 in a football shop, a random football shop, and yeah, I don't know. I like when people ask me, it's really hard to kind of pinpoint why I chose England, why, but maybe it was always in the cards. And this was when I lived in America. I had no intention of coming to the UK. I had no intention of living in Spain. So I bought myself an England jersey. Don't know, maybe things were meant to happen. But yeah, I have England. Um, I've got this one. I've got I've got everyone from the 2016 season. Because I'm the type of person that every time I actually go to a game, I tend to buy whatever jerseys there. So, yeah, there's that one. As far as my other kits, so this one I actually love. This one is my Spanish kit from when they won the World Cup, and it's got the 2010 patch on it. I forget what year this is from. Probably 2014 or 2013 maybe, because I think they changed it right after this. But I bought this. I visited Spain. I bought this, and all of these are large. I'm not large anymore, but I bought this one when I went to Spain. This is probably one of my favorites as well. I actually have the shorts and the socks as well, because like I said, I didn't know. But Spain for me, reignited my love of football. Living in Spain was a great experience. My first kind of club football was Sevilla, as I told you guys. And I was lucky enough to be in Spain when they won the Euros. I was lucky enough to be in Spain, when Sevilla was winning the Europa League. So, I lived in Andalusia on the Sevilla side as well. So, yeah, it was a great, it's a great thing to be in a country where they win things and the jubilation that they feel countrywide. They were having parties, man. They were having a good time. And that's the thing, and that's what I meant about the World Cup. That's what I meant. I don't know if we'll feel that, because I don't think America will win the World Cup. So, and even if America won the World Cup, do you think that there's going to be pandemonium in the streets? Do you think that if America wins the World Cup, people are going to they're going to not go to school the next day to celebrate? No, man, it's not a thing. So, yeah, I just feel like the vibe is different. If South Africa had won the World Cup, or South Africa had gotten to the semifinals, I think it's different. I think there's a different vibe on the streets. I just don't know. Being American, I don't know if that vibe will be there. Yes, we're kind of football crazy in the sense of there's a lot of club supporters, but and there are a lot of American American fanatics. But for me, I just don't feel like it's the Brazilian fanatics. It's not like the Argentinian guys. It's not like Nigerians or English, Welsh. I don't know. I don't feel like it's the same. And speaking of another European one, I got this one. This is another. I have a lot of European ones. This was from 2016. So if you can't tell, 2016 is where the only fans, right? The only fans that I think, and Andrea said, I've seen videos of MLS fans and they're dismal. The only set of fans that I will say that are 100% fanatical are Portland Timbers fans. But I also think because the history of that stadium, the Portland Timbers Stadium is old. It's like, I think it's 1890. I want to say. Or yeah, 1890, or maybe 1910ish. It's one of the older stadiums, but those fans, Portland Timber fans, yes. But yeah, I mean, I'm from Miami, and I'm excited for Inter Miami. I followed the Inter Miami story since David Beckham left LA. And I was gassed for it, but the atmosphere at an Inter Miami, let's take Arsenal out of it, right? Let's take Arsenal out of it. The atmosphere from Inter Miami and Portsmouth, night and day. I feel like American fans, you get a little section of kind of cheering, but it's mostly like cheering when something happens and like clapping and doing that. Like, it's not like Portsmouth where people are like screaming the entire match. You know, it's not like Sevilla where one side of the stadium is singing to the next. I just don't feel, you know, so I agree that MLS stadium, and it's also because MLS games are usually played in not purpose built stadiums, right? You've got the Seattle Sounders and they're playing in this gigantic stadium, and Seattle might be another exception when it comes to crowd noise because the stadium is actually built to filter in the crowd noise. But if you look at New York Red Bulls, like, you know, if they're playing at in East Rutherford, like, you've got this open air stadium, you don't have enough fans to fill it because it's not like 60, 70,000 fans are packing in to see, you know, New York Red Bulls or New York City FC or Kansas City. Like, they're not packing in to see that. So you've got these big, huge stadiums that are built for college teams or American football teams, and then you get to the stadium and it's kind of dead because you don't have enough people to fill it. And if you're with Portland, that stadium is a football stadium now. That's what it's built for. That's what it's there for, right? And so you get that experience because it's purpose built. And I think that when Inter Miami becomes a thing, because Inter Miami might be a little bit different because of the fact that when they have their actual stadium, you have a lot of Latinos, and Latinos love football. But that stadium has to be allowed to be that way. It can't just be sit down and cheer. You have to be allowed to be rowdy. You have to be allowed to, because that's football. Football is a working class sport. It's not cricket. It's not golf where somebody like, it's not that. It's a working class sport. People will be yelling obscenities. People will be cheering for their team, booing their team. That's the joy of it. That's the joy of football. And I don't think America has grasped that yet. And I don't think the World Cup is going to be a place where America grasps it. If, you know, it's not like it's not the first time, you know, we've been in the World Cup or we've hosted the World Cup. You know, the last time we hosted the World Cup, has it grown since then? Yeah, probably. But when you still got a league, and now we're getting into MLS, but I'm going to do it because it's my show. It's the Waffle House, and that's what we do, right? So when you look at MLS, right, MLS could be so much bigger than it is. When you have a country the size of America, I think that MLS could rival the Prem. The issue is MLS is run like every other American sport. You've got a super draft. You've got no relegation. So, I mean, look at the kits. Every kit is Adidas. Every team in the MLS has to have an Adidas kit. So you don't, you know, you have a monopoly on who makes the kits. You've got a monopoly on not getting relegated. You've got a monopoly on this and that. You know, you can move a franchise if you want. You never get that kind of we're here to stay type vibe. And that's why MLS hasn't grown. It also hasn't grown because you don't have academy teams, right? You've got the MLS. You've got the USFL. USFL? Yeah, US State Football League. You've got that, which is now trying to kind of rival the MLS because they're trying to bring in relegation. They're trying to actually put teams in smaller areas because football could become a thing. There's a lot of, you know, young kids who play football. But as I said, it's once you get to a certain level, you have to pay to get in those things. You have to pay to get into the football university. You have to pay to. It's not like we'll pick you up and we'll mold you into this person so that you can get paid. You have to pay for that opportunity. And that's why the MLS hasn't grown. That's why American football hasn't grown. I mean, football in America hasn't grown. So, yeah, it's just, you know, the atmosphere. And this is why I think the World Cup. Do I think the World Cup will be boring? No, because you've got some great teams in there. You got France in there. You've got Spain. You've got Argentina. You've got, I would say England, but we don't know what we're doing on the Thomas Tuchel. We'll get in that in a minute. But, yeah, it's just, for me, America, you can't capture that. And if it hasn't grown in 20 years from the last time you had the World Cup, then I don't think it's going to grow much more unless the MLS and the U.S., you know, Soccer Association, whatever they call themselves, get out of the American mindset of doing things. That's how you have to grow. right? So if you start putting academies, if Inter Miami starts having an academy where they're picking up players and they're doing it like Europe, Kansas City, they're doing the same thing. Like Toronto, they're doing the same thing. Then it'll grow. But you also have to allow promotion and relegation. I think that's what also builds the league, right? And that's what builds it into a more exciting league. Because if and I always use Inter Miami because we're a new team, and yes, we've won the cup. But if we were terrible, if we were losing every match, guess what? It doesn't matter because we'll still be in the league next year. Not only that, but the MLS also has a playoff, and I don't like playoffs, man. I think the playoff is only for the championships and the lower leagues. I like those playoffs, but even those playoffs, the first two teams that win, they get automatic promotion, and you're playing off for the third spot. It's not that big a thing. It's not the playoff for the league, right? And playoffs are great in other American sports because it gives everybody an opportunity to win. But I feel like in football, I actually like being good over X amount of games. I like being good over 38 games. I like being good over 30 games. Like, I feel like it gives you more to play for because all we have to do is be middle of the road. That's it. In the MLS, you just have to be good enough to make the playoffs, and then you can go and win the whole thing, right? But is that really kind of a marker that you were the best team? Or is the marker you've beat every other team home and away, and that's why you're the best team, right? And I feel like it's different. MLS still has a lot of room to grow, and they keep adding clubs and they keep adding clubs. Yeah, you can keep adding clubs, but with no promotion relegation, it like I said, it feels like a money grab. We'll put a club here, and now you're part of the boys club. Same thing with NFL, but the NFL has a monopoly on their sport. There's no other big American football leagues. Are there other American football leagues? Of course. There's one in Mexico. There's one in Spain. There's one in England, which I coach for. But they're not rivaling the NFL. MLS is rivaling La Liga. It's not in that sense, but it's going up against La Liga. It's going up against Liga MX. It's going up against the Eredivisie, like it's going up against Serie A. Like, yeah, there's no they have to work harder to get in those conversations and be in those conversations. And until they actually realize that you can't run this like America, because football is not an American sport. It's a world sport. And other parts of the world are better at it. American football, America's always going to be great at it, bro. We're always going to win. We could, flag football, you might get an equal standard. But even then, I've watched D3 teams come over to the UK and have a great day. Have a great day out. Just scoring at will, right? We dominate that sport. Like basketball, we dominate that sport. They're a great European basketball team, but they ain't beating LeBron. They ain't beating the Lakers. What's the worst team in the NBA? They're not beating them. So, yeah, man, it's got a long way to grow, the MLS. But the only way that it grows is if they get out of the American mindset, and that's so hard to do because, as we see in the world, Americans think that the way that they do things is the only way or the best way. So, yeah. Speaking of America, I own 2 America kits. This is one of them. Let me flip it inside out, actually. So I love this kit. USA. This is like the only other USA one I have, and it's another white one. It's Josie Altador. And I actually bought that one before I bought this one. Because as you said, he's a Haitian kid. So I grew up around Haitians and I felt like underrepresented. So yeah, but USA. And I like quirky kits as well. So I like, France also did this. I think, what year was this from? This was 2016. I want to say France's was also 2016. But theirs was kind of theirs was white, and then the red was a little bit more subdued, and so was the blue. And I already had a France kit, but yeah, this is one of my few American kits. I love it because it's different. It's got USA on the back. And yeah, man, it's a good one. I like this one. I like this kit a lot. And if you're in the chat, whoever's in the chat, tell me your favorite international kit if you got one. But yeah, what else I got? The other kit that I have, I did show you the Portugal one. I like the Portugal one. But as you guys can see, all of my kits start like the template's the same. This is that 2016 template. I'm pretty sure this one is. Yeah. So that was that. 2016 is when I really like had the money to get into football. So that's when I started accruing my kits. But this is 2016 Portugal. And just like the US kit, you can see the template, you know, with the shoulders. And then this one's got Portugal on the back, just like this one has USA on the back. And I'm pretty sure this one has England on the back too. Because one thing Nike and Adidas would do is they'll just recycle stuff. But yeah. Andrea said Brazil 98. Oh, I love a Brazil kit. I have one and I tried searching for it, but see, I've split my kits into when it comes to my kits, my more recent ones, and then I had a Brazil kit from when me and my wife got together. And I actually wore it on our first out of state date. Out of country date. Let's say that. Out of country date. So our first out of country date was Puerto Rico. And I wore the Brazil jersey to Puerto. I don't know why. Why would I wear a Brazil jersey to Puerto Rico? Have no idea. But I wore it. So I've actually put that one in kind of like the anniversary, like important stuff, like, you know, because I'm a little bit sentimental. So, you know, the first pair of shoes I wore on our first date, I still have those, because we've been married 10 years and I love her to death. But so that one, because it was our first out of country, I put it in a different bin, and I don't touch that bin because it's airlocked. So yeah, can't show you that one. But West Germany 1990, yeah. See, those some good kits. I wish I had older kits. Like all of my kits, I think this one was another one of my first. This is a 2015 kit, France, and as you see, they only have the 1 star. Might be worth something, but Veron. And the crazy thing about this is I visited Paris, and I don't know, like, when you ask me why I got Veron, I can't tell you why. I can't tell you why I got Veron. And when I think about it, and it's one of those things that now that, like, I don't know if I was just in a rush. I don't know if I was just nervous. But when you think about the people who were playing for France, like Pogba, yeah, you had a lot of Frenchmen that I could have gotten, and I don't know why I got Raphael Varane on the back of a shirt. I can't tell you. No idea. But he was one of the first people that got on the back of an international shirt. But yes, Raphael Varane. I have him. And the one thing about France kits, and which is why I would never support France, is because they got the chicken. And I feel like I don't want the chicken. I know people know the difference, but I don't want the chicken to be confused with that other chicken that we got. So that's why I leave it alone. But yeah, I like the France because it's got the thing in the back, and the Varane has got the French on there as well. But yeah, those I think are the international kits. Do I have any more that I want to show? I think that's it for the recent batch of international kits. I do have a couple more, but yeah, man, like when it comes to kit, as I told you, I love kits. I'm a kit guy. So I usually purchase one. I also have Hungary from when I went to Budapest. I have that one as well. But yeah, most of my international kits come about 2015, 2016. 2016 is when 2015 is when I moved to Spain. And by then I was kind of buying like Arsenal kits and other kits. And maybe at the maybe I'll do a kit show where I just talk about my kits. But yeah, I didn't really start getting into international until like 2015, 2016, when I lived in Spain. And yeah, I started buying Spanish kit. The one Spanish kit that I do, and I think it's one of my favorite kits. I couldn't find that one either. I've got, so I have over 100 kits. I counted them. My wife stared at me very heavily when I was going through them, but I have over 100 football shirts. So sometimes it's hard to find some of them. But Spain had a kit. It was a white kit, and it was the lion. Like it was like in this area, it was a lion. I have that. It's probably my favorite kit, and it's probably been airlocked as well because like my better kits and the ones that I like more, I usually put somewhere safe. I mean, I vacuum seal most of them, but yeah, that kit I love. Now, if you're still in the chat, Andrew, Spain's kit this year, right? Spain's away kit. I don't know if you've seen it, but Spain's away kit, and I said this on the stream. The kit that Spain is rumored to have, and I'm gonna pull it up in a minute. I'm gonna see if you guys can see it. It's what I feel the Arsenal third shirt. And don't get me wrong, I love the third shirt. I think the third shirt is very good. But when I look at the Spain third kit, that is what I think the third shirt should have been. And I think that the third shirt probably should have been the away shirt. Let's do a check on Tottenham time, guys. All right. Oh my goodness, goodness gracious. Let's go Madrid 5, Tottenham Hotspur 1. I got 5 on it, and it's in the 66th minute, and Spud still got quite a while to take some L's. But on the other side, that Bayern Munich Atalanta match is wrapped up. It's 6-0. It's over. They'll probably put the kids on in the second leg. They don't need to get out of any gear. Newcastle Barcelona still 0-0, which is not good for Newcastle. If you're at home in the first leg, you should probably score. But boy, Tottenham Hotspurs, the gift that keeps giving. That's what I'm talking about. But yes. Back to my ADHD. Let's go back to what I'm looking for. Oh, for the headlines. Because I'm going to show it to you guys on my phone. Yeah, the third kit, let's see if I can find it, is amazing. It's got that same colorway from the our third kit. There it is. I don't know if you can see that. That right there, a beauty. Right, the collar, it's got the trefoil on it. It's got the star. Yeah, I'm buying that. I'm buying that. I have to buy it. They also leaked. They leaked a jacket. I want to see. Oh, they had the jacket on. Oh, there it is. There it is, guys. This is the rumored jacket. Right? Can you see that? And it's that same burgundy, and because my thing won't focus. There it is. If you see the collar, it's just like the third kit collar. Yeah, I'm buying that too. I'm buying that too. And if my wife is watching, she might do. I just know that I've set aside a specific amount of funds for that. Because one thing that I love about kits, anytime that, like if Sevilla came out with a burgundy kit, I'm buying it. I can't help it. I cannot help it. If Sevilla comes out with burgundy, like I'm wearing burgundy now. Like that's just my color, right? I love burgundy. And when Arsenal came out with burgundy stuff, I told you I got the third kit. The only thing I don't have is a scarf, and I'm sad about it. I will look into getting it though. But yeah, man, I got the kit, I got the cup, I got everything. Like when it comes to, yeah, when it comes to Burgundy, yeah, Adidas and their jackets will bankrupt me. Yeah, I've been trying to stay away from the Armory. Listen, we're Arsenal fans in here. That jacket, the one I hate when they change small things and call it a new kit. You know what? We could talk about that too, Stoney. We'll talk about that too. Give me a second, right? But on the jacket thing, right? Because Arsenal know what they do to me. They know that all it takes is some old Adidas logos, a little bit of retro, and maybe the Canon, and I'm weak. I'm weak for it, right? Where is it? And this jacket, man. Yeah, first thing that popped up. Ooh, it's on sale as well. Can't look at it. They out of my size though. Goofy, right? This right here, this jacket they just released. Oh, that jacket they just released. Yeah, man, had my name all over it. I had to stay away from the site. I couldn't do it. 80 pounds you looking at, it's like, ooh, do I want to pay 80 pounds for a jacket? But that right there, weak, take my money, right? I haven't bought it yet, much to my wife's, joy, glee, that I haven't spent our money on an 80-pound jacket. But don't worry, if it goes on sale and I find one, it's all me. I did buy one, the navy blue one, with the retro cannon on it. I bought it. It was on sale, so I bought it. But yeah, when it comes to the jackets, but if that Spain jacket comes out, yeah, I'm switching allegiances, right? Put this, cover it, right? Because I'm going straight to the Spain shop and I'm buying, right? I'm buying. So yeah, about the kits, right? And this is the thing, right? And this is what I just talked about too. Son, when they change the small things and then they call it a new kit. I just showed you the template, right? I showed literally these are the same shirt, right? You look at it, the shoulders are the same. You see those shoulders? You can see the crease in it as well, right? All they've done was change the colors. That's all they've done. They're the same shirt. They changed the color. They changed the badge. This one, the collar, the collar is even the same. Same thing. It was a template. They've just changed the number, changed the color. That's it, right? I feel like it's so lazy, right? When you have, and this is the thing that I like. I know that you have to have a template at some stage. If you're mass producing, you have to have some sort of template. But bro, like this is the same shirt, bro. Like there's nothing Portuguese about it. There's nothing American about it, except for and this is why I bought it, because it's red and blue. But it's basically the same kit, right? There's nothing. This is why I love this kit, right? I love this kit because it's different. It looks different than that, right? It's different. So, I like zany kits, right? And you guys saw, from my other show. Yes, this is a training shirt, right? But it's different. But it's London. This is London. When you go on any London tube, this is what you see, right? You see this. This has something about it, right? This is what I love, right? I don't want to see the same old thing, right? And I look at Arsenal jerseys, and I know that Arsenal is hard, right? It's hard because our template is set in stone. Red body, white sleeves. That's what it is, right? That's what it's going to be. So when it comes to that, it's very hard to kind of make something new while keeping to those same parameters, right? But I feel like Adidas has done a good job. They've done an exceptional job, and in the last couple years, yeah, they've changed it. They change it enough. The only thing that I don't like that Adidas is doing, especially in the Arsenal kit, I'm I'm still a young fan. I've only been a fan 10 years, but I'm kind of traditional. Can we have a yellow away kit, please? Right? Red home kit, yellow away kit, and do whatever you want with the third shirt. That's it. That's all I want. Right? Back to the comments. Templates are the worst thing to happen in kit culture. Yes, they are. Even it's crazy because we're American football fans, right? And the Dolphin kit doesn't change. It is the same every year. There's nothing that's going to change about it, right? And I feel like that's kind of what the football culture has tried to do. Like with Nike, like Nike's an American company, so they're like, ooh, maybe if we put a template, we don't have to spend that much money to get all of these looks out. You change the color, you add a little sprinkle here, a new thing here, and we'll make a lot of money on using the same template in the same shirt. Like, all they had to do for this is dye it a different color. That's it. Dye it a different color, put a different logo on it, call it a day. That's all you had to do. And it's terrible. And my wife is in the chat, and she said, and you bought them all, weak for merchandise. I can neither confirm or deny whether I've purchased all of said kits. All right. I did just say I had 100, so I've been caught red-handed. But yes, I do. And I've spoken about this, and I spoke about this the other day. When it comes to Arsenal, I usually go for the home kit, and I've literally just sat here and said it's hard to do. Like, I'm pretty sure my wife is like, how many times can you buy a red kit with white sleeves? But I feel like the home kit is the iconic kit. If we win something, it's the home kit. You know what I'm saying? So I usually, every year, I get the home kit. What I've tried to do more is buy it at kind of wholesale price. I usually buy it at the end of the year and just wear the old ones. Arsenal this year, they got me. They bought me. They finessed me. When I saw Victor Gyökeres doing this, and they said that printing on his shirt was free. Yeah, I came out of that, 80 pounds. It's actually 90 pounds with shipping. I did. I'm not gonna lie to you. Did you see Spuds change their keeper? Did it matter? They changed him, but he ain't better. Vicario's trash. Vicario is absolute garbage. Is he Italian? They should take his Italian passport and send him to Peru, Ecuador, or something. And that's offensive to Peruvians and Ecuadorians. Let me just check on the gift that keeps giving. Oh, they scored a second goal. Look at that, Spuds. I'm proud of you guys. Not really, though. But yeah, it's not Atalanta's just getting smacked. They just getting bopped. And they're at home as well, which is crazy. Newcastle still haven't scored, so I think, and I had Newcastle for maybe an upset, but I think if they don't score at St. James and they go back to the new camp, they taking the L. So they have to get at least a goal. Like Galatasaray. I feel like Galatasaray had to get 2 goals and then hope that they can hold on at Anfield. But, yeah. Nikes are especially bad for the copy-paste look. Adidas, what happened to Adidas kits? They're a little bit better. The Adidas kits, maybe because they're this is the thing, right? When it comes to kits, I think where the company is based matters as well. With Nike being an American-based company, Americans like to do the cheapest thing on their end with that they can make the most money from. So I think you'll find more templates and stuff like that. and Nike will mass produce because that's what they've always done. All the sports that Nike produce are all teams that don't really change their jerseys. The NBA, right? They might produce, now they have the same home, same way, and they do the association or city kit or whatever it is. They'll do that year. So Nike can just keep pumping out the same NBA kits and change one, and then that one that they've changed, they charge extra for, right? Oregon, they make 64,000 kits for Oregon, because that's their bread and butter, but that's mostly a local thing because it's not like you have, it's not like you're gonna have a huge Oregon horde of fans buying stuff in New Mexico. Like, it's probably not gonna happen. They also do the NFL now, I believe. And like I said, NFL jerseys you don't have to change. They the same every year. The Dolphins' current jersey scheme has been their current jersey scheme since 2015, I believe. 2014, 2015, when they went to the light aqua color. But it ain't changed much. Our logo ain't changing. They might they had the black kit this year. They had the retro look that they do. But for the most part, Nike ain't got to change nothing. And I feel like sometimes they take that into their kits. Like, you look at Spud's kits, you look at Chelsea's kits, and like Chelsea's kit, yeah, it's blue. But it's not really much you can do with the home kit, right? And I don't feel like they've done a lot. Spud's, it's brown. Like, there's not much you can do for that, because it's poo. So, like I said, the thing I like about Adidas is, at least for Arsenal, they've changed it, and they've tried it. They've made it different. Like I said, I am a traditionalist. I would like to see more yellow kits, and I think that they have a yellow kit that's coming out. It's going to be a third kit, which doesn't make sense to me, but they're going to do it. Now, the blue kit that I seen for Arsenal, so I got them all up. I'm a kit lover, as my wife said. I will just buy a kit because it makes me happy. Like, I can wear them all, but I can't. So let's see. Arsenal. So this joint right here, right? That bad boy, that right there, they've got, first off, and that's just a mock-up, I think. But I don't know if you guys can see it. It's got like the bruised banana joint on it, and it's got that's getting bought. And especially, right? And I don't want to jinx it, but if we win one of the cups with the big ears, I'm going. If my wife's still in here, leave now. If we win the league or the Champions League, when I tell you that the Armory will have to buckle their shirts down to keep me from buying them all, I'm clearing out everything. Home, away, third, training kit, goalkeeper kit. What else I'm buying? Socks, scarves, hats, beanies. Program. I'm buying everything. We win the league, I'm loading up on merch like I'm Sports Direct. I'm telling you right now, there will not be a single shirt that be able to get away from me. But that's putting the cart before the horse, everyone. So yeah, that's my kit show and tell, man. As far as now, we're gonna talk about as far as the World Cup, and I think the World Cup, this is another Nketiah problem. Hey, I would have gotten Nketiah on the back of a shirt if we won something, but we didn't. So I did say that if we won the league and we scored own goals, I would get own goals on the back of a kit because I just thought it was funny. They will make a nice tent for you. Yeah, they'll have to. I'll be buying all these stuff, bro. But yeah, as far as yeah, I buy everything. But going back, because this is the World Cup show, so going back to the World Cup, and I'll talk about kind of the analytics. I've been waffling for an hour. But this World Cup, I feel like it's hard to call. And the reason it's hard to call, you still have France. France are, their young team, their up and coming team. They can be a dominant team on their day. You still got Spain. They're young. Lamine Yamal, Pedri, Raji. Like, they still have guys who are decent. You have Argentina. Is Messi playing his last World Cup? You've got Cristiano Ronaldo. Messi won the World Cup. Will Cristiano get there? Like, then, you've got your African nations. It's going to be in the U.S., so Mexico, in North America, so Mexico will try to do something. The U.S. national team, Pochettino is their manager. They're going to bottle it. They'll probably look good in the group stage and get smacked in the first knockout. And then he'll be free to go back to Spuds, or maybe he won't because they'll be in the championship. Canada, I don't think they'll do much either. Mexico are hit or miss. Who else? Who else is coming? You got Japan maybe. But when I think about the teams that have a legitimate shot, like Argentina, on their day if they can get it, Portugal, England, France, Germany are shot as well. Germany will be there and thereabouts. The Netherlands. I think one of the European teams to take it this time though. Being, a fan of England and Spain, I've seen Spain win the World Cup. I've seen Spain win the Euros. I know what that's felt being in a country where they're doing that. I would love nothing more to be in England, right? And this is me, right? This is Mickey Gooner Rican's wish list for this summer, right? And if my wife is still in here, right, this is my wish list for the summer. I would love for Arsenal to win the Premier League. I don't care about anything else, right? Anything else is a bonus. I would love for Arsenal to win the Premier League and then for England to win the World Cup. If Arsenal won the Prem and England win the World Cup, my summer would probably be one of the greatest things you've ever seen. Right? Imagine being on cloud nine, watching my team lift the trophy for the first time since I've been a fan. For you, the older fans, first time in 22 years. Then watching England, the country that has adopted me, the country I now live and work in, that I've studied in, win the World Cup in the country that I was born in. That would be full circle. It'd be great. Football's coming home. I would love it. I would honestly love it. Do I think it's gonna happen? I don't think it's gonna happen. Just because we have if we have a history of getting close and not getting over the line. England internationally is funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. England internationally are what Arsenal have been. Play good, get to the final, and then at the final hurdle they don't make it. Or play good, get to the semifinal, then don't make it. They haven't been able to get over the line. They do very well in the group. They get through the group. They get all the way to the end and then can't get over the line. And that's a problem with Arsenal as well. We've gotten there. We've gotten to the semifinal. We've gotten to the last 3 matches. We've gotten to, now we're in the Carabao Cup final. We have to get over the line, both teams. And I would love nothing more than England to do it. I would. It would be probably one of my greatest moments watching England. As I said, I watched the women win the Euros around COVID times. I was still at uni, and just watching the women every game, it was great, man. It was a great opportunity, and I would love that for the men. I would love that for Bukayo Saka and those guys who took the abuse in the Euros when they miss the penalties. Like, I want that for those guys, bro. I want those guys to have an opportunity to be the shining light, to be the reason why football came back. After what are we now? 60 years? 60 years ago? I would love for those guys to be a reason. And I would love an opportunity for England to celebrate and people to not take the mick. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. There it is. Let's do one final check. I said I was going to go on to Gianna's stream, but I think it's probably going to be over because it's almost 10 o'clock. Stop beating him. He's dead. Oh, Newcastle with a goal. Yes. Newcastle with a goal against Barcelona. That's big. I mean, the away rules aren't a thing anymore, so, I mean, as far as, it mattering in the long scheme of things, they still got to go to the Camp Nou and get a result. But, I mean, up a goal, you score one, then they've got all to play for. Atletico Madrid is led off of Spuds for now, but even Atalanta got a goal against Bayern. I'm pretty sure that's because I'm hoping they switch their team out. Because if I'm up 6-0, right? If we up 6-0, I expect Mikel Arteta to start rotating everybody. In that second leg, I want to see nobody. Nobody I know. So, yeah. Yeah, man. That's the Waffle House. It's another successful Waffle House. It's been a good one. I appreciate everybody who stopped by. So, Andreas and Stoney and Waffle Don for coming by as well. But yeah, the World Cup to me, great competition. I think I want it to be a good experience. I want it to be great. I just think that what's happening in America and what's happening in football as well, I just don't think it'll be as great as it should be. I don't think it'll be as good a spectacle as it should be. But that's, I guess, the pessimism in that. But yeah, as I said, as always, you guys take it easy. Thank you so much for liking, for sharing, for subscribing, for talking to me. I like coming on here and waffling, but it's so much better when people are talking to you, when people are giving you their experiences, when people are, interacting. It makes it a lot easier, and that's what I'm here for. It's for the community. So, thank you so much for stopping by, and I hope that we'll see you on the next one. And I don't have anything planned because as I said, YouTube was acting up, so I couldn't actually upload the next one. We do have the Arsenal match tomorrow. I won't be live streaming that one. I might hype on somebody else's stream if they're doing it, but I won't be live streaming myself because I like to watch them. We do have a match against Everton. I'm not sure if I'm going to that one yet. I might do. So if I do go to it, I'll post that I'm going to it. And then you look out for my match blog. If I don't, then I'll be around. But the next bit that I have that's coming up will be the last ammo checks. I'm going to start doing the ammo checks in the middle of the week. But I'm also going to do them sporadically. I'm not going to do them every week because I feel like when you do the ammo check every week, if we haven't played or if we've only played one game, then it basically just becomes a match review, and I've got a match review, so I don't need to do that. And then the Waffle House, I might start doing more often, but it depends. I want to do a daily show so I can actually talk to you guys, but because I work a full-time job, it's a little bit harder. I'll start probably doing a twice a week show. It won't be the Waffle House. I feel like the Waffle House is going to move to Saturday so that we can actually have a conversation. I can get more people in. It's kind of hard to waffle during the week when, as you see, the Champions League. So we haven't got many people in here because they're probably watching the Champions League. They're probably watching the Champions League watch along. But I'm gonna start doing the Waffle House on the weekends, and then I'll come up with a show for the midweek where I'll just pop up, do maybe 30 minutes to an hour, have a chat, talk to the community, and then call it a day. But yeah, that's what's coming up. So if you guys are, watching this, put your notification bells on. You'll catch me on other channels as well. Waffle Don has invited me, I think, again on Monday night, so I'll probably be to that one, Monday Night Madness, on his channel. I might, appear on BBK's channel. I know that Shane has been talking about the Waffle House, or not the Waffle House, the Bruised Banana, so I might appear on there eventually. And then, Views on Sport, I'll be around there as well. I've already done what do we call that? Under the Lens. I've already done that with him. So, yeah, man, we'll be around. I'll be doing more stuff. If you like the stream, please like it. Leave a comment after it's done as well if you want to see something else. And like I said, the Waffle House is open. It's a community thing. It's something that you guys can suggest. So if you want me to talk about something, if you have topics, put them in the comments of the video. Say, hey, I want to hear you talk about this. If I've talked about it, I can talk about it. It's the Waffle House, so we can waffle about whatever we like. But yeah, at the end of the month, all right, I'm just going through closing up. At the end of the month, I'm going to do an Ask Me Anything. I did it on TikTok, and it was kind of successful. So I'll probably do it on here as a live thing, Ask Me Anything. I'll wait to get a date. I think the weekend is probably the best. After an awesome match, that's when people are usually on, and they have free time. So I'll do an Ask Me Anything as well, and it'll probably take the space of a Waffle House. And yeah, we'll just talk to the community. I'll talk to you guys, get feedback, get questions answered, ask you guys some questions, and we'll just have a good old talk. So maybe near the end of the month, when my wife's back, we can do that. But thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being supportive. And as always, take it easy. As always.